hoses. They also make their own hydraulic hoses. Johnson's Auto Parts, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store. 1112 Shelton Avenue, Statesville.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, coming back for another week, and she cannot avoid it. She can't avoid it any day because it's real. Supply and demand. More or less, will there be more or less units active and coming soon on the market this week? 500,000 or less by county, always starting with Mecklenburg County, in Canopy MLS. Do you think there will be more or less this week?
I think because we had a huge increase last week, I think it's going to be less.
Okay.
It was pretty amazing last week, but I think it was too good to be true, and it will come down a little.
Too good to be true.
Yes.
Does the market feel that way some days? Too good to be true?
No.
There's not a day that goes by that you say to yourself, man, this market is perfect.
No. Since I started in real estate, I don't think I ever felt it's perfect because it's always, and since I started, it's pretty much great for sellers. I haven't seen the buyer's market, not since I became an agent 7 years ago. So I haven't seen anything that I'm like, because if it's great for my sellers, I know it's not good for my buyers. So I can't say that, yes, it's great for sellers, but I haven't seen it's great for buyers.
Do you think that it ever will get good for buyers? Because I'm trying to figure out a path forward here for buyers. I really am. I feel like every day I'm thinking to myself, okay, how can buyers be helped out a little bit in this market right now? And the answer just is like compromise and look to the next 10 years and buy somewhere that you have to have like a longer term outlook, or are there short term wins for buyers here?
I try to tell my clients to look for not necessarily 10 years, but 4 or 5, and they should be okay. I believe that they should be okay if they can, again, 2 years. I always say, if you see yourself in this house for 2 years to get to the next one, that should be good enough. And I don't think 2 years is a bad thing, right?
That's not that long of time as far as we're talking about housing goes.
It goes very fast. I have a client right now interested in he bought new construction. It's going to be 2 years in no time. And he's like, maybe it's time to go to another one and take advantage of the money I made and already step up and go to a better house. And in my mind, he moved 2 weeks ago, but it's going to be 2 years. And he's already making money, and he will likely be ready for a better deal and using what he made to put as a down payment. So pretty much keeping the same payment, if not even less, using pure equity. And I just talked to another client of mine this morning. He bought the house 3 years ago, and they might have a job opportunity to move. So he's like, can you just run a quick CMA, see how much I would walk away with? If it's, and when I told him, he's like, you're kidding me. I'm like, no, it's pretty nice.
Is the rate factoring into that? Because interest rates, at least the word on the street is they're going down a little bit, and going down, anticipation of the meeting of the Fed, which happens this week, by the way, the Fed meeting I think I could be wrong on this, and there's somebody out there that could probably correct me on this. First time in 4 years,
it's been a
down rate, like literally the first time in 4 years, rates will have been lowered.
And please, if we can go back, I'll go back to my Instagram, but even here, I said that. I said just before election, it's going to come down. So do I get money for saying that? Because I did say that.
Kind of in theory, if the rate goes down, you get to keep more of your money if you get a new loan. It's kind of like, when you see the commercials of buy more to save less. That's kind of like what it feels like, right? Like buy a really, really expensive car or buy a really, really expensive furniture and save money.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find, I got a text earlier during the break. I'll look for it about the interest rate and the meeting that's coming. So one of my loan officers texted me something. I'll check during commercial just to say what he's saying. But yes, they came down. Apparently they'll come down once again.
The other side of the market that doesn't get talked about a lot, mostly by brokerage community, because there's not a lot of money in it, but the rental concept, right? But I'm wondering, and I'm just curious, just literally thinking about this out loud. If the rate comes down, do we see any indication from, like, let's say, like lease renewals on the rental side? Like, because you would think in theory maybe people transitioning then to the purchase side if they've been renting. If the rates go down, do we see any movement in that? Are you getting less inquiries, same inquiries, more inquiries on the rental side these days, or?
I don't. Again, I do help people that need it. Today, someone asked about it, but I'm not, because
You're not prospecting for people
no,
renting.
because thank goodness I'm pretty busy as is selling and buying. But I wouldn't have the answer. I would be lying if I
Sounds good. How's
I
it?
gave you an answer.
Speaking of, you brought in help to help you with your process, and so you have an assistant. And so
Yes.
how are we doing now? We brought it up last week during our conversation with Beacon Street, and so how are we just checking in with you person to person? You can tell your feelings to me right now. How are you feeling with having an assistant now?
Again, I don't know what I would be doing without him. I mean, I do know I would be working 12, 14 hours a day. I just thought about it Saturday. There was this tree guy that was doing work for me, and he asked me about, being a realtor. And he said, "Oh, do you like what you do? Because I thought about it." And I'm like, I love it, but it's not. I'm like, it's every day. It's 7. Yes, you could put limits, but if you want to really,
It's a 24-hour job.
like, if you really want to make money and be successful, it's 7 days a week, many, many hours a day. And he's like, "Oh, okay, maybe I could. I'm just like, I'm not good with numbers at all. I don't understand numbers." I'm like, "So you can't do it. How can you help your clients figure out what's the fair offer to make, or what is the fair listing price if you're not good with numbers?"
That's
Like,
actually
this
a
is the
joke.
very first thing.
In the pre-licensing class, there's a lot of people that joke about like the amount of math, and they've actually lessened the math requirement for licensing in North Carolina. You used to have to fill out a HUD-1 closing
I
disclosure.
did that, yes. Which, honestly, I did that. I had tons of math in my test. I was okay with it. But I don't think this is the math agents need, because this is done by the attorney, the loan officer. Yes, understanding what's there and at least how to recognize if it's right or wrong, but not like it was. I don't know how it's taught right now. I never necessarily agreed with the way it was taught, but you have to understand numbers. I think a CMA, a comparative market analysis, to know if the price is fair is way more important than knowing how to fill out a HUD.
Maybe that's the reason why they did, but they removed the HUD, so there's no more
Oh,
HUD.
I didn't know.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's no more.
Should
So
I
maybe that's
reta-
the reason why. I don't know.
Should I retake the test just for fun?
It's more about like identifying concepts. I think that's
Yes,
important. Like when
yes.
you take a paragraph and you say, okay, well the paragraph in Word format talked about closing costs, and let me look over here at this little chart. No, there's closing costs. So there's certain things like that.
Yeah.
But Stenner got less, so
I know.
there you go.
I didn't
overall.
know it was out.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, "I would love to, but I know I suck at numbers." I'm like, "Okay, keep cutting trees, do something else."
Well, we get numbers practice every week on More or Less, which
Oh.
is going to happen at the very end of the show. Did Compass have a bunch of exclusive listings or anything this week
Yes,
or anything?
I'm showing one Thursday.
Oh,
Actually.
wow. Okay, so that's really a thing.
Yes,
That's
it
actually
is a thing.
happening.
Mhm.
And are you happy with your decision?
I have 2 private exclusives going on my listings, and I'm showing one on Thursday.
Wow, that pendulum swung real fast on some exclusives going on. That's it's hard to see it any other way for listings in the future, at least for the foreseeable future. More coming up.
Stay with us. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will be back after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our weather is changing quite a bit as we kick off a new week, and a system off the coast develops and moves inland across the Carolinas. Expect rain arriving by this afternoon. Some of it could be quite heavy and could impact after-school events and your evening commute as well. That rain will continue on and off, some heavy through our day on Tuesday, along with some gusty winds, too. Just stay weather aware over the next couple of days. Temperatures will hold in the 70s for the first part of the week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like iCats Public Transit.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. This Friday night, the monthly car show Hot Rods and Hops returns to RevFast. The late Apex Storage Condos on Cayuga Drive in Mooresville welcomes the slickest and fastest cars, motorcycles, trucks, racing, and high-performance machines. Food trucks will be on hand for delicious dinners, and Hoptown Brewing will be serving up cold beer. Get your weekend started off right with Hot Rods and Hops this Friday night at 6 p.m. at the late Apex Storage Condos in Mooresville. Birkdale Village's Live Under the Oaks concert series is also happening on Friday night. Ryan Winters will be playing on the Birkdale stage in Huntersville beginning at 6 p.m. Food and beverages will be for sale at the many restaurants around the village. Grab your chairs and your friends for the Ryan Winters concert Friday night at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Movie in the Park is happening September 20th in downtown Huntersville. The show at Veterans Park on Main Street and Maxwell Street is open to the public free of charge. Bring your blankets and lawn chairs for an evening under the stars with the showing of Space Jam on a big screen. Movie in the Park begins at 7:30 p.m. at Veterans Park in Huntersville on Friday. The NHRA returns to ZMAX Dragway this weekend for the Carolina Nationals. When the temperatures cool down, the excitement heats up at the Bellagio drag strips. Every ticket is a pit pass, giving fans unmatched access to the drivers and crews who power the NHRA's thunderous 11,000 horsepower machines to their limits. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for information, tickets, and details.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays, October 5th through November 24th. A non-stop outdoor family adventure. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Today's Real Talk continues now. Here are your hosts, Claudia Ogrizek and Justin
Would you say this
Ckezepis
is
on
0.25
105.9,
now?
100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. So what, you got inside information about the amount of bips, the rate's going to move down here this week for the meeting? What's the hot take?
I got a text.
Okay.
I got a text. Oh, this is what I forgot. It's a reality show. It's my guilty pleasure. I love some reality
really?
shows, like the bad ones. Yes.
Like whoa. You can't just throw that
let's
out
talk
there and
about
walk
more.
away.
Why did I
How
say
bad
that?
does it get? Tell the truth.
Oh, it's bad. I love 90 Day Fiance.
Oh,
For
strong.
obvious reasons.
Sure.
I'm an immigrant, so I think, of course, it's. Have you ever watched it?
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous, and I think it has to be fake. But I do love watching.
They've got the different iterations now. It's like the regular 90 Day Fiance, and like
Yes.
the before, the
before
after,
90 days,
happily ever after.
or the Americans. Oh, you know everything. Do you really watch? Do you watch it? Yes.
You know, TLC. They got some options out there.
And this one, I got a text. I think this is I forgot. Cougar Manor or something.
Oh, yeah, now
Did
we're
you watch
talking.
that
No,
one?
I know somebody else that does, though.
Really?
Somebody else who does. Yeah, for sure.
I got a text. I don't know, but anyway.
Anyway, how many bips is the market moving this
So,
week?
according to one of my loan officers,
Inside information.
it may, we don't know, but it may come down 0.25.
Okay.
Which is pretty awesome.
A quarter point.
Yes, a quarter point. And we are at around, I would say, 6.25, 6.125. So maybe.
Some are saying that rates are kind of baked in at that. Everyone's anticipating that they will come down this time. If they didn't, it would be a bad thing for the market if they don't move down.
Yes.
If they move down, depending on how much, will indicate how much did the market overshoot, undercorrect, overcorrect, all of those kinds of things. But we won't know until the meeting, and we won't know even the reaction after. Does it really matter, though? Does a quarter of a percentage point, do you think, open the floodgates and all of a sudden buyers just come out?
But I see people getting excited. So not necessarily the wave we expect at maybe 5.5, but there are people beginning to move again and text me and kind of.
So 6% right now, people are kind of saying, okay, I'm
Yes,
interested in
they
having a
are-
conversation.
Yes, they are wondering if it's time. Some have asked me, oh, you think that buying a house, let's say now in the fall, how's inventory? Should we wait for the spring? So there are people waking up and asking me questions about it. I have people now, actually, a few clients that want to invest already, that they were quiet, not in a hurry. I have quite a few of my clients asking and possibly getting ready to buy an investment house at 6 point something. Of course, investment goes a little higher, but with the general market at 6 point ish, investors are also, which is again bad for regular buyers.
Can I ask you about the loan products that you're seeing for those investor buyers, or the ones that you're hearing, the actual particular products that you're hearing about at all, or is it just second home loans?
No,
or
it's
is
investment, and the I always forget the order. DSR,
DSCR, debt
yes,
service coverage
yes,
ratio? Yeah.
yes. The one for people that don't know, that checks how much rental income you have to qualify you.
It's not based on your own income. It's
No.
purely based on the property. Now,
Mhm.
typically requiring 20% down at least on
20%
that.
down
Yeah.
and a higher interest rate. But yes, I do have some of my clients that want to invest.
Are there
that
investment
have been
properties that are
waiting.
cash flowing with those kind of number
Yeah,
requirements?
it's very hard, of course.
You got to have more down payment, I would imagine,
But
is the
that's
only way
why,
around it.
yes. But then again, when people say that and at a higher interest rate, what I suggest, and it's their decision, but then I say aim at the areas that will potentially grow faster in the future. Areas that not many people are looking at right now. So, yes, areas might not be as pretty or attractive, but in the long term, I believe these areas will have a faster growth in terms of market value. So I tell them to come with me, and this weekend someone asked me about Belmont, and I'm like, you kind of missed the train.
Oh, it's gone. The train's left the tracks.
It's not gone, but it's
Toot, toot.
you have to run very fast to try to catch. Yes, it's the great days of Belmont are gone. You can find a few things.
No,
but-
not great days of Belmont, but the
I love Belmont, but
attractive pricing
money,
of Belmont.
Yes. Many people found out about it, and I have my other places that I'm.
Secrets.
It's not a
Secrets.
secret.
Secrets
I
are no
always-
fun.
No,
Secrets
I always,
are for
I
everyone.
always talk about them here, but yeah, some of them I don't tell you, or I don't talk about them on the radio.
Is that for your own investments?
For
Is that why? Yeah.
Well, that too, and my clients, my actual clients. So yeah, some things are discussed in
Wow,
person
I'm in
with my clients.
I'm in the no call friend zone is what that sounds like. No, that's okay. That's okay. I'll remember that later on
If you-
more or less when we play that game.
But if you want to know everything, hire me and we sit down and then we'll talk.
There's some
I'm
good
not going to
spots out
give
there.
all the secrets here.
You do need a professional that can help you navigate the process, whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether you're just thinking about the future. How much time are you spending each week talking with people about that, like the future, right? Because that's what I imagine a lot of people are so worried about is the future. Do you spend a lot of time conversating like that with your clients?
A lot of time. Today is Monday. I've had, I don't know how many conversations this morning alone already. Yes.
You're like
which is crazy.
psychiatrist? Is that what it is? Yeah. You got people on the couch?
I was at home and I thought, I'm going to do so much and I'm going to take care of and then because my clients are waking up. So they started waking up to the market. So I was talking to one, like nonstop, pretty much all morning about investing, people thinking about short-term rental, mid-term rental, like investment, long-term rental. Many investors, as I said, many people trying to invest, some people thinking about listing and getting all the money to downsize and take advantage of the money they're making. So I did not stop, and it's just Monday.
And are they mostly people from out of state, can you say? Or is it in-state folks
all
too?
Here.
All local?
Everybody, all local.
That's certainly a shift to hear
Yeah.
again back that it's the local side of things that are talking more about okay, maybe I'm looking at a move. Because the question has been for years now, moving's fine. Selling a house isn't the problem. Where do you go from here becomes the question.
Yeah, but this weekend, talking about the conversation I had today, all local people, But this weekend, I will be dedicating many hours Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to out of the country buyers. We are competing with Orlando right now. So they are right now in Orlando, and then they arrive in Charlotte Thursday night, and they are looking for 2 houses, couple and their parents, the guy's parents buying. So they are in Orlando right now. They'll come here to make a decision. So I have to impress them. We have 3 days, 3 different areas. They've never been to Charlotte. So I am going to set up a few showings and at the same time go to certain restaurants, certain areas, and give them a kind of a route so they can visit areas to try to make a decision on which city they'll choose. And let's say, hopefully they'll come here if they're coming. And of course, one day Lake Norman, one day uptown area, downtown, around uptown, and one day Ballantyne and surrounding areas.
So you're really going to give them the full spectrum here
Yes.
of what the area has
That's
to offer.
what they want. They said, show us. And I tried Belmont, but they don't want to, they think it's too far. So they want to be in the areas they heard about.
People know what they
maybe
want.
at the end, I'm
Maybe
like,
they don't.
hey, are you sure you don't want to go to Belmont? No, so it's Lake Norman, uptown, and Ballantyne.
3 very different areas right now.
Very different areas, yes.
Are you finding, though, more people, because you talk about how far Belmont is, so is Uptown the central location for them, have they indicated, or is it, no, they're just okay because they like set the time travel on 77 just sounds better than 85? What's the...
These people are actually investors, so they are not going to necessarily work or commute. It's just the everyday life. So I do feel, and I'm not going to talk much about them because of fair housing,
Sure.
but I do feel that their area should be uptown.
Based on their needs.
Based on what
You're
they
helping them
need and
based
what
on
they,
everything they're saying,
you know, the everyday, because they're going to be working, investing from home. So it's about walkability. They want to go to many restaurants. They would like to avoid using a car.
You been in Uptown recently?
I was there yesterday. Yes.
They got a lot of
Legion
doors going
Brewery
up.
in Plaza Midwood.
They got a lot of doors going up in Noda area
Yes.
and Plaza and
Mhm.
Central. I mean, they
Yes.
got a lot of stuff going on down there. I had to stop in the middle of the road for a train. I said to myself, I don't know if we really want this red line up here having to stop in the middle of roads for
We
trains.
had lunch at Plaza Midwood. We started watching the Panthers lose, and then we left and came
said,
home
that's
to
it,
take
we're
a
out
nap.
of here. Is that what's happening to the entire city as everyone's leaving?
The
Because of
Panthers game?
Panthers?
Yes. Kevin said, "Oh my God, I thought it would be packed," and I'm like, "Why?"
You know, the word broke just shortly before this show too. If you hadn't heard, spoiler, that they were benching Bryce Young, by the way, already, the quarterback. So that was
Really?
breaking news before our show
Oh.
today. Yeah, so there you go. More insight.
Would you like Cam to come back?
You know, he's enthusiastic, but I just want to win. You know,
But
that's the thing for me.
Didn't he win when we did pretty well
got
with him?
farther with him,
Yes.
and also Jake Delhomme. Look, we don't need to talk sports right now. That's not the point right now. The point right now is what is going on in the market. However, does the Panthers losing bring down the value of our marketplace? Does it feel that
guess.
way? They say that, don't they? That matters, like
Yes.
your sports franchises and all those kind of hospitality style things,
Mm-hmm.
the quality of life, being able to do fun activities. A lot of events go on in our area too.
Mhm.
Do you feel like the conversation is shifting at all in new construction with only 30 seconds left
I don't
before we
wanna-
go to the break?
I don't want to talk. I'm a little upset with new construction this week.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm not very happy, and I almost feel like I have to shake everyone, the builders, and then maybe go back. Like right now, I'm upset with new construction.
Oh, wow. And you don't want to talk about that?
We can, sure.
Okay, good, because I was going to ask you whether you wanted to or not. I'm also going to ask you more or less. More or less units active coming soon on the market, 500,000 less by county. We're going to find out what she thinks.
More of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis is coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our weather is changing quite a bit as we kick off a new week, and a system off the coast develops and moves inland across the Carolinas. Expect rain arriving by this afternoon. Some of it could be quite heavy and could impact after school events and your evening commute as well. That rain will continue on and off, some heavy through our day on Tuesday, along with some gusting winds, too. Just stay weather aware over the next couple of days. Temperatures will hold in the 70s for the first part of the week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
This is Brad with Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms in Mooresville. We have the best outdoor furniture available and the largest inventory around Lake Norman. Also, pool table, shuffleboard, and game room furniture. 847 Brawley School Road in Mooresville.
Would you like to change your health situation? Improve your current health with a wellness consultation with me, Fred Lowry, pharmacist and doctor of natural medicine. I'll work with you to reach your individual goals. This includes a review of your current medications, supplements, diet, and lifestyle choices. This is a progressive way to improve your current health position for your future. Great for individuals or couples wanting to make improvement, call me at Lowry Drug in Statesville, 704-873-2247.
Family, quality, value. With a legacy of excellence for over 40 years, Horn Heating and Air Conditioning will make your house feel like a home. Welcome home to the feeling of HornHVAC.com.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress? Just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. SerenityNowMassageandWellness.com, with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshlawFirm.com.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. As it digs in for what could be a drawn-out and expensive strike by workers at its main Seattle hub, Boeing is rolling out a range of cost-cutting measures, including a hiring freeze and temporary furloughs for what it says will be many employees. The sweeping measures also include a halt of non-essential travel and cutting back spending on air shows and charitable donations. For decades, most U.S. retailers closed their stores Thanksgiving Day. Last decade, some opened in what turned out to be a short-lived trend. Most are back to closed on Thanksgiving. And this year, that includes one store most would expect to be open. Walgreens says most of its more than 8,500 U.S. drugstores will be closed this Thanksgiving, although 300 pharmacies will remain open for emergencies. And robots are taking jobs, the ones that are focused on making guacamole at Chipotle Mexican Grill. Chipotle has started testing robots at 2 California locations that can peel avocados in 26 seconds. The company plans to see how employees and customers respond before taking the robots elsewhere. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. More or less, we will find out more or less active and coming soon units on the marketplace via Canopy MLS. That's the local MLS. 500,000 or less as the price point by county. Always looking at Mecklenburg starting off. Had a big jump last week, like you said. Don't know if we'll have that same number today, although I do know the answer already because I made sure to be prepared and be ready for that. Also, will you have a Maintenance Monday for us today?
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
We're going to need to maintain.
Is it good?
Well, it's good that you're bringing awareness, but is it good if it's a situation that you run into? Probably not.
No, it's not good for me for sure.
Oh, it's
Do you
not.
see this face, by the way? This is my face for the next 6 months. Do you see this? Not good.
Because the cold?
Because of the cold.
Oh, no.
So this is the face you get now until like April.
Oh, wow.
If it's below 75, this is the face you get.
This is it.
This is the
There's
face.
one and one only.
Like, I don't like it.
That's it. This
The
is
only thing in the next months, the only thing that keeps me going is knowing that on Christmas Day and New Year's Day and New Year's Eve, I will be in a warm, beautiful place with no sleeves and flip-flops.
Oh, wow.
It's what keeps me. This is an agreement I have with Kevin, and I do know, he would like. And I think 3 years ago we did stay so we could spend Christmas with the whole family. But I need the winter break to go to a warm place again, so I can survive until spring is back.
You need to
this
break
is how
from winter.
much. Yes, this is how much I dislike cold, and by cold I mean anything under 60.
Mm.
He hates when I say like I'm from a tropical country, which I am, but I am from the south where it's like tropical, so it's not that warm. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I still hate cold.
So is it becoming like warmer there now, right? Because it's the opposite?
Yes.
So it's now going to start becoming warm again.
Yes. So for me, like my birthday is spring in my mind. I don't like it.
Wow, that's got to be wild. And then
Yes.
coming up here, and then all of a sudden it wasn't spring anymore for your
And
birthday.
so for me, my birthday is spring. It's November 1st.
Oh, wow.
So it's a spring birthday. And usually we spend at the beach. Not here because it's getting cold.
Not here.
For me, Christmas is summer. New Year's you spend at the beach, skipping, jumping, whatever the waves to which you make 12 wishes as you jump the waves.
Interesting.
This is a Brazilian thing. So for me, New Year's Day, you are at the beach, skipping waves and making your wishes. Christmas Eve, it's the family. Christmas Day, tank tops, shorts. So I'll never get you. I spent 40 years of my life in the summer for winter break. So now I have an agreement with him. Yes, we stay every now and then so we can be with the family, but most times I need to regroup and run away from the winter. And
So that's not an uncommon thing even to happen here in, let's say, North Carolina. We'll say snowbirds. That's a concept, right, where people will have a place, let's say, for the wintertime down in Florida.
yes.
And then in the spring, summer, some of the fall, they're up here in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Houses as second homes, investment homes, all that. Are you still seeing a market exist for that level for the retirees, for those looking for North Carolina in our area in particular?
I actually think that many of them are coming and staying here, because especially people from, let's say, New York and Boston up north, they think that our winter is not actual winter. So many of them found out that Florida is too warm for them. So they
Too warm.
Yes. So even in the winter, it's not, let's say, cold enough. So I see many people coming and choosing to stay in North Carolina, South Carolina, because summers are not as hot as in Florida and winters are not bad, especially compared to what they had in their homes. And now to make it worse, the weather in Florida, the hurricanes, homeowners insurance going crazy high. So I think more and more and more North Carolina in our area is getting more attractive to snowbirds as well. I know my in-laws are from New York and they're like, oh, when I'm freezing and I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, this is beautiful. This is not really winter. So they enjoy, and then they enjoy because we do have the 4 seasons. And when they go to Florida, they miss having the 4 seasons.
Do you miss the cold ever whenever you go somewhere
Me,
warm?
never. My plan in life, my goal is in life, and I'm not joking, is one day I'll never wear long sleeves again. This is my goal. People want to retire. I don't care. My dream is to never wear long sleeves again. Only to go to the supermarket because I do have to wear a jacket every time I go to the supermarket.
Why the supermarket?
Because I think it's too cold.
Oh, because of like the milk
Yes.
aisle and stuff like
I
that?
hate it. Yes.
The
So I
freezer
always
aisle?
have a jacket. Yes.
Interesting. That's funny.
That's, I know.
So for investment properties, for those looking at second homes for the retirees, how much of the market do you think you're spending time with those who have, let's say, bought in the past second, third, fourth, fifth home now, we'll say, as compared to first-time home buyers? Are you seeing such a difference in the number in each category?
For my clients, I am working more, like right now, I have more first-time buyers or people upgrading their house. I had many of the retirees, the baby boomers, dates, many of them by a huge coincidence or not for me, 2020, 2021, many of them
got in right before while the rate was as
yes,
low as it possibly could be,
so,
and can now retire into the wind with a 2.5% interest rate.
Yes, so I'm not saying they won't come, but I had many baby boomers, retirees in 2020, 2021. I had a few last year. I don't think I had anyone in 2024. It's basically like younger people, first-time buyers, or people upgrading, upsizing their house.
And are they looking at the Lake Norman market? Are they looking in particular at Charlotte? Are they what's bringing them to look? Have they been here for a while, most of them? What do you think? Or is it a big mix of everything?
It's a big mix. In my case, same thing. I have people coming from California. I have quite a few clients coming from California. Maybe I told you, maybe because I used to body surf.
Oh, there you go.
So
yeah,
they
that's
get
right.
the vibe.
That's right. The West Coast vibe.
Yes.
You've got it.
So I do have many clients from California, and then many local people, and many relocation people, like international clients from many different countries. Not only, of course, many Brazilians for obvious reasons, but I have from, India, Argentina, Chile, many other countries, Netherlands.
And I don't want like this deep, methodical conversation we're on right now to lead you to believe that I forgot about you're feeling a particular way about new construction right now. And I am interested to hear about what's going on in your world.
Okay, how can I say that? I know especially the major, huge builders nationwide. Of course, a lot has to do with one team in a certain neighborhood. Of course, being that big, they can't control the quality. But I've had in the past few months some issues, and it's under warranty. This is the good thing. I always tell when my clients get upset and it's different builders. It's not one in particular. Each builder is doing something. I always say, at least it's under warranty, so whatever happens, they will fix. Nothing costs you. It won't cost you anything other than like a headache, but it won't affect your homeowner's insurance because it's a claim against the builder, not against your homeowner's insurance. But things that should not be happening that are happening. And different neighborhoods, different areas, different builders, which is, and houses that have been inspected, because many times you can have the inspection done and you don't see, because the house needs to be working, right? The water, the electricity, turning on, turning off. So some of the things from small, but which I consider like pretty unforgivable leaks within the walls to, on my way here, one of my clients said, is it okay? And she sent me a video of her like with a bunch of holes in the concrete in the driveway, they closed maybe 2 months ago, and the concrete, fancy, large house, and the concrete is like melting. She's like, is that okay? I'm like, it is not okay. And call them. If they say something, call me and I'll fight with you for you.
Melting concrete sounds like the sun moved closer to the planet. So yeah, I don't think that's a good thing.
Erosion and to make it worse, many of the times it was something that we were addressing, that I was addressing during construction, saying, hey, this is happening. Fix it now before it's, oh no, it's okay. The problem is there. So I am a little upset. Many different builders. It's not one builder in particular. And some of them are, I would not expect it to happen.
Are you as upset as you are with builders with the inventory levels of the marketplace? Because more or less is up next.
Yes.
And so you got to decide more or less, more active and coming soon than last week, 500,000 or less.
Less.
Oh boy.
Keep it right here. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our weather is changing quite a bit as we kick off a new week, and a system off the coast develops and moves inland across the Carolinas. Expect rain arriving by this afternoon. Some of it could be quite heavy and could impact after school events in your evening commute as well. That rain will continue on and off, some heavy through our day on Tuesday, along with some gusty winds, too. Just stay weather aware over the next couple of days. Temperatures will hold in the 70s for the first part of the week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. This Friday night, the monthly car show Hot Rods and Hops returns to RevFast. The late Apex Storage Condos on Cayuga Drive in Mooresville welcomes the slickest and fastest cars, motorcycles, trucks, racing, and high-performance machines. Food trucks will be on hand for delicious dinners, and Hoptown Brewing will be serving up cold beer. Get your weekend started off right with Hot Rods and Hops this Friday night at 6 p.m. at the late Apex Storage Condos in Mooresville. Brookdale Village's Live Under the Oaks concert series is also happening on Friday night. Ryan Winters will be playing on the Brookdale stage in Huntersville beginning at 6 p.m. Food and beverages will be for sale at the many restaurants around the village. Grab your chairs and your friends for the Ryan Winters concert Friday night at Brookdale Village in Huntersville. Movie in the Park is happening September 20th in downtown Huntersville. The show at Veterans Park on Main Street and Maxwell Street is open to the public free of charge. Bring your blankets and lawn chairs for an evening under the stars with the showing of Space Jam on a big screen. Movie in the Park begins at 7:30 p.m. at Veterans Park in Huntersville on Friday. The NHRA returns to ZMAX Dragway this weekend for the Carolina Nationals. When the temperatures cool down, the excitement heats up at the Bellagio drag strips. Every ticket is a pit pass, giving fans unmatched access to the drivers and crews who power the NHRA's thunderous 11,000 horsepower machines to their limits. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for information, tickets, and details.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays, October 5th through November 24th. A non-stop outdoor family adventure. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call now to speak with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis at 844-STUDIO-4. It's today's Real Talk on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, and the time has come. More or less, are there more or less active and coming soon units on market via Canopy MLS this week as compared to last week at 500,000 or less by county, always looking at Mecklenburg County? Last week we had 2,241, which was a big jump from the previous week.
Yes, I wasn't sure.
From 1,628. I almost don't believe it, what happened last week. But you're saying this week there are
less, because it was too good. I love it, but I don't think no. I think it's less than 2,000.
All right, Claudia says less. And you are correct.
Yay.
It is less. It's 1,000.
I mean, no, I'm not happy. Yay. Okay.
It was a big drop. I'm wondering what's going on with that because there's about 500 unit drop. 1,703 is what we got now. 1,703. So it could have been me fat fingering something or something else changed or something. It could be an influx, which we've talked about this in the past. When you've got, let's say, a new construction neighborhood coming on, and are all the houses in the MLS or are all added at a simultaneous time? Certainly something to look at. Also, the way that the data is going to shift because of firm exclusive. Does that shift the data at all that we're seeing out there as far as in the marketing, in the MLS, and things that are changing? Because with the commission concept, it wasn't just commissions and compensation that had to be removed from the MLS. It changed the dynamic of the relationship between the broker, the client, and the way that the property can be marketed. And so the other piece to that is buyer agency and having agency signed before you go show a property. How has that been for you?
No changes other than it takes a little longer to explain, but everyone I've talked to is okay with signing. We do have the and I can't memorize, but we do have the temporary showing agreement, which is not the full-blown buyer agreement. So Compass did that. But I haven't had any setbacks at all. People, sometimes they ask me a few extra questions to understand, let's say if a seller is not offering, how do we do it? But other than taking a little longer to explain, people are okay.
Okay, so for a seller, then have you had one, seen one, been involved in a deal, an actual deal? I understand conversation happening, but an actual deal at this point where there was no buyer agency compensation paid by a seller?
No, no, I haven't had any. Not as a listing agent, not as a buyer agent. They are okay. Same thing. I had one kind of one to test the market, and he did it as a for sale by owner, and he quickly learned it was not a good idea. He wouldn't make the money he wanted. He wouldn't. So we had to have the conversation again because I said, go ahead, test the market, see the kind of response you get. It's your right, of course. And he very quickly learned that people buyers want to be protected by their agent. And because many are using all their savings and everything they can, it's kind of a natural thing to take the money from the proceeds of the seller. And as I always say, has always been the way I see it. It's the buyers paying commission, not the sellers. It's never been this. Nobody will ever convince me that sellers pay commission. Buyers pay commission because market value includes commission. It just comes out of the seller side, but it's the buyer paying the price. So the buyer is paying for commission.
So you're having a different, again, more theoretical conversation
yes.
about market value, including
value.
these other factors of a deal, including having agency representation in the deal and the cost that comes with that in order to get the transaction completed.
And the cost is paid by the buyer. It just comes out of the seller's proceeds because most of the time in a good market, of course, we're not talking about 2008, but the seller should be making money, and then they have profit to share, but it's a buyer paying the full amount, the market value. So the money is actually paid by the buyer.
So the theory being that if commissions aren't paid by the seller and the prices remain, buyers will continue to not be able to just afford the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll have to adjust and the market will correct.
The market will correct. This is something else. There's no magic. If buyers have to bring the money, the market value will come down because instead of putting all the money on the market value, buyers have to save some money for paying their agents.
The X factor being supply and demand. So we'll find out how
Always.
that goes and how it continues. The other thing, though, we have to watch and be mindful of as the market continues to go are the maintenance of these homes. Because if you're having a house and you got to maintain it, you mentioned it's getting cold out.
Do you have to
I
talk
said
about
Christmas is going to be here before you know it. I've been saying it for a while
I
now.
will be in a warm, beautiful place. So I'm happy. I'll be having my Santa will be wearing red tank tops. Yes. So unfortunately, the weather is changing and it's time to check your fireplace because ideally, especially a gas fireplace, which is most people I think would have a gas fireplace nowadays. If you don't, I know that fireplace people say try to turn it on like once, do you know this? Once a month. Ideally, even in the summer, turn it on. I know 99% of people don't do it. So now it's time to have it checked for leaks. If you have a chimney, check if there's nothing wrong going on with the chimney. And unless I am absolutely crazy, and I thought about calling Piedmont and I didn't, sorry. But I'm pretty sure if you have Piedmont gas in your house, they come for free and they check for leaks and for everything. So try Piedmont first if you have it. I am pretty sure they come and check it for free for leaks, for any danger, for anything. And if not, then you get a chimney guy. But check your chimney, check the systems, make sure everything is flowing the way it's supposed to. So of course you don't want carbon monoxide leaks in your house.
Do you have a chimney guy? Do you have a chimney guy?
I do have a chimney guy. Of course I have. I have a guy. This is a realtor. If your realtor doesn't have a guy, change realtors. I do have a guy. I have two guys, actually.
Two different chimney guys?
Two chimney, yes.
In case you need a backup chimney guy?
Yes, of course, yes.
You got to have a backup
But I would say try Piedmont or whoever gives you, your gas provider to see if they come for free.
Okay.
And talk about it. If you have gas fireplace, make sure you have the gas, the carbon monoxide plug close to your fireplace either way.
The carbon monoxide detector.
Yes, because many houses, especially more modern houses, they come with it on the ceiling, but the gas is heavier than air. So in my opinion, you need to have a detector at ground level, because when the gas starts accumulating, if you have to wait for the gas to reach the ceiling, you're
too late.
You're dead. It's too late. So have it one. I have it in my house, one near my stove, and because I do have a gas stove, and one near the fireplace. Because again, when the gas starts, and of course I have the ones on the ceiling. I'm not crazy. I'm just careful.
No, nobody's calling you crazy. You got to take care of it. You got to make sure you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
And so fireplaces, maintaining your fireplace and maintaining your chimney. It is. Some people are looking for real wood fireplaces. That is a real attribute that people look for of a house.
100%. I have many clients that beg me to find them a wood burning fireplace. Many people, the smell, and I get it. I had it growing up, so of course it's better. The smell, the heat you get from a real wood burning fireplace, but it is rare. Even the older homes, which can be retrofitted, I guess. Nowadays, if you have older homes that had a wood burning fireplace, they probably have a gas insert right now, and you could basically take it down and have wood again. So it's doable.
Even better, though, when you have the gas starters to put real wood on. Have you seen those? That's some of the high-end stuff, too. You got right there.
Mm-hmm. It is very nice.
Kind of weird.
Are you a fireplace kind of guy?
I'm an outdoor fireplace guy. Inside, I'm a polar bear, so I want it to be 30 degrees, and I want to be wearing shorts. That's pretty much it for me.
Why?
Because I like the cold. I prefer the cold. My body prefers the cold is really what it is. I have no choice in the matter.
No. Okay. Yeah, no, not for me. But one thing that's interesting, in the winter, I don't like cold, but I do want the house to be on the cooler side.
Sure.
I don't get the thing of like having the heat on and T-shirts on. You like to be cold. I don't like being cold, but at the same time, if it's cold outside, I do want to be wearing like sweatpants and sweatshirts inside the house. I don't want not to know it's...
You want your clothes inside to match the vibe
not
outside?
As much. Yeah, not as much, of course,
Okay.
but I want to be cold at home because then I remember how horrible it is outside. I don't like the same way in the summer. I don't like a super cold house because if it's 95 degrees outside, I don't want to be cold inside the house because I have to remember it's beautiful and warm outside.
You know, preferred air temperature is not a protected class. So technically you could discriminate against somebody who prefers cold.
Mine is in the summer 75.
75?
Yes.
Gosh. If
Kevin doesn't like it, but
if
to sleep 68, but during the day when I'm in the office 75.
Oh no, 70 during the day, 68 to night. Oh yeah.
Okay, 68. Okay.
Yeah.
At night, yeah. And in the
I like it cold in the room, so then you put the blanket. I'm giving you too much information.
In the winter, what's the heat if you have the heat on?
Probably like 67.
Okay.
Somewhere in that range,
not too
66,
bad.
something
I do
like
66,
that. Yeah.
67.
I don't like it stuffy. You know what I mean?
Me neither.
Stuffy.
Yeah. But yeah, check your gas provider if they come to your house and check your fireplace for free. If not, get your chimney guy. And if you don't have a guy, send me a message and I'll
Claudia's
get you my
got a guy.
I got a guy.
That's right.
Yes.
Another week of analyzing what's going on in the marketplace. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. You've been listening to today's Real Talk. If you miss any show, know that they are available on demand wherever it is you get your podcasts, wherever it is you watch your videos, and of course the WSIC News app. We'll be back next week. We're going to talk more or less. We're going to find out, has the market shifted? Maybe it jumps back up because of all these interest rate conversation. Will the rates lower this week? We'll find out. We'll see how the market reacts to it. We'll get your take. If you ever want to drop a line, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville.